After studying this module, you shall be able to. In this module, you shall learn the concept of global marketing, international marketing, and how does a company utilize it to increase its market penetration. Once done with the case study, we will take you through the difference between global, international marketing and domestic marketing. And once we are done with it, we will look on for advantages and disadvantages of the global marketing strategy. Global marketing. It is an approach adopted by different industries varying from FMCGs to technology to reach its customers' bases across the boundaries of their current market to different geographical locations or to different markets. Global marketing is also known as international marketing, and some people often use both the words interchangeably. Since we have covered the definition of the global marketing, in next section we will cover the concept of global marketing and focus in the definition provided by some famous personalities. Next is the concept of global marketing. Whether an organization market its goods and services domestically or internationally, the definition of marketing still applies. However, the scope of global marketing is in much wider aspects when the organization decides to sell across international boundaries. Let us firstly define marketing and then see how by doing marketing across multinational boundaries, differences where existing have to be accounted for. S. Charter defined marketing as the process of building lasting relationships through planning, executing and controlling the conception, pricing, promotion and distribution of ideas, goods and services to create mutual exchange that satisfy individual and organizational needs and objectives. The core concept of marketing are customer value, competitive advantage and focus. This means that organizations have to focus on the market, develop products or services that satisfy customer needs. The focus was shifted from knowing everything about the customer to knowing the customer in a context which includes the competition, government policy and regulations, and the broader economic, social and political macro forces that shape the evolution of markets. In global marketing terms, this means forging alliances, relationships or developing networks, working closely with home country government officials and industry competitors to gain access to a target market. Also, the marketing objective has changed from one of satisfying organizational objectives to one of stakeholder benefits, including employees, society and government and so on. Profit is still essential but not an end in itself. Wensley 1982 has defined marketing as initiating, negotiating and managing acceptable exchange relationships with key interest groups or constituencies in the pursuit of sustainable competitive advantage within specific markets on the basis of long-run consumer, channel and other stakeholder franchise. Next is propulsion to global marketing involvement. First, foreign customers. One, the biggest force of attraction of companies in new region is that it gets new customer bases in new region. Second, importers. They are always looking for new products that are not available in their domestic market so that they can earn revenue out of selling imported goods. Next is advantages and disadvantages of global marketing. Advantages. One of the biggest advantages of global marketing is it provides platform to an organization to expand the scope of the business and customer base, as global marketing helps the organization enter in new geographic region. Second, growth in brand name. International marketing provides a platform to companies to grow their brand name across the globe as they get an opportunity to focus and serve new customer base and build their brand name in international market. Third, global networking. Expanding into a global market gives a business the distinct advantage of connecting with new customers and new business partners. A company doing business in Eastern Europe, for instance, may find a cheaper workforce, less stringent tax laws, or even less expensive modes of advertising in local newspapers, television stations, and radio programs. Next is disadvantages. There are even disadvantages of international marketing, and often companies do face difficulties to implement their strategies due to following reason. First, differences in consumer need, wants, and usage pattern for products. It might be possible that the consumer needs and requirement are different from what the company is offering to them, which might result in no sales of product or services that the company was offering. Second, differences in consumer response to marketing mix elements. Since the company through global marketing is looking for expansion in scope of their product reach, it is possible that the price, product, placement and promotion might not connect with consumer in the new market or new geography. Third, differences in brand and product development and the competitive environment. At times, stiff competition from domestic or regional players becomes the biggest hurdle for the product to be successful. As for example, a company A launches product in India and connects with customer in all ways through global marketing, but could not change their usage pattern or loyalty towards product that was supplied by local players. Fourth, differences in the legal environment, some of which may conflict with those of the strategy or techniques being used by organizations in their own domestic marketing. For example, pharmaceutical firms in USA are allowed to use DTC, direct to consumer marketing strategy, whereas in India still there are a lot of legal rules and regulations to be followed before launching a pharmaceutical ad by any company. Next is the difference between international and domestic marketing. Since we know that international marketing focuses on the global outreach, whereas domestic marketing is confined between local boundaries, there are few more differences between them, and those have been covered in the table below. First, on the basis of meaning. International marketing refers to the marketing activities where companies try to focus not only on customers present in their local market but also for customers in global market. On the other hand, domestic marketing refers to marketing activities where the focus is only on the local market or where there is presence of company operations. Next, on the basis of culture. International marketing should be done taking diverse cultures into consideration, since geographically change in scope of marketing not only result in change of market or consumers but also traits of consumers also change. On the other hand, in domestic marketing, there is hardly any challenges faced in case of domestic marketing, only has its scope to the local market where the company has its operations. On the basis of competition, in international marketing, high and stiff competition from local players, and since the market is new to the company, it might take some more time to adapt by the company to traits and needs of consumer. On the other hand, there is moderate competition from local players. On the basis of risk, international marketing is subject to high risk. Political, foreign, exchange risks, bad debt risks are few of them. On the other hand, domestic marketing is also subject to risk, but not as high as international marketing. Next is case study for global marketing. A company X has been dealing in clothes and fashion accessories in United States for past 50 years with presence in global regions in Europe, Asia Pacific region. It has been in APAC region, mainly in Japan and China, for almost 10 years and have been successfully getting revenue and profit margin, and now is looking expanding its scope in India as it is one of the fastest growing economy in today's world. It decides to launch its range of clothes and fashion accessories for upper class people, for example corporates. So before launching its product in India, it needs to look on the following factors such as: first, price. Since the product is being launched for corporates, it need to look in points such as price offered by competitors, how much people are willing to spend on clothing, when is the time when most people go on for shopping, as in which season, winters, summer or autumn. Second, delivery channels. Since a lot companies in India expanding through e-commerce websites, they can look that for channel, or they could go by traditional way of opening stores in prime locations. Third, theme. Since it's clothing line company, they need to be very careful about selecting a theme for their fashion line, like are launching for summer season theme with casual formals or winter formal with classic suit or 3 pieces set for men. Fourth, range. Again, one the most important factor need to be considered before launching of their product line. Are they only looking for offering men clothing or for both men and women lines of clothes? Apart from this, a lot of more factors need to be considered such as taste of Indian consumers, time frame in which they are looking to expand, in which all cities they are looking to supply their products in first launch. Next is some classic cases of global marketing in Indian context. Compact disc CDs. Moser Bear India MBI is the third largest manufacturer of optical storage media in the world. MBI is one of the lowest cost manufacturers of CDs globally. The company's per cost production is lower than that of its Taiwanese counterparts by almost 62%. MBI has also invested heavily in increasing its CD and DVD, recordable, writable and pre-recorded formats, manufacturing capabilities. About 80% of its revenues of rupees 16 billion a year come from export, and 60 to 70% of its revenues are earned through sales to original equipment manufacturer companies. Most of the world's leading brand source products from MBI. MBI has increased its manufacturing capacity to 2 billion units per year. The optical storage media industry has a 15 billion unit capacity, of which 70% is confined to Taiwan and Japan. MBI has started putting up a manufacturing facility in East Germany and also has plans to firm up its strategy for the US in the near future, for which it is negotiating with Imation Corp of the US. MBI has a manufacturing scale built using less capital than it will take to build similar capacities elsewhere in the world. Process skills to reduce material cost, low manpower cost and strong distribution channels for servicing its global OEM clients. Its capacities were concentrated in the factories located in Delhi so far. However, MBI is aiming to increase its international presence by building plants both in Europe and the US. Next is tea. India produces almost 1/3 of all the tea product in the world. In 1999, the world production was almost 3 billion kgs. However, India exports less than 200 million kgs. It is also a major tea consuming nation. Increasing unit value realization from exports is a key challenge facing Indian firms. The main areas which have room for improvement in this sector are blending, processing, packaging tea bags, branding and marketing. Moving up the value chain from being an agricultural commodity producer to being a marketer of lifestyle and luxury products is a big challenge. Tata Tea acquired the Tetley brand of the UK and is making sustained efforts at becoming a high-value lifestyle marketer. While this upgrade is being attempted, India will need to continue to make efforts at holding on its world market share in tea exports and market shares in important markets. The government has a critical role to play in organizing the large number of tea farms and in helping tea boards and other institutions to chart out a strategy for the future. Next is cement. This industry is characterized by high volumes and low value. Export volumes are critically linked to infrastructure and logistics capabilities. The structural features of the industry make it one of the most difficult ones to find export orientation. Export volumes in relation to the total industry production are not expected to be high in this sector. During the year 2003-2004, the total cement exports from India were 3.4 million tons, whereas clinker exports stood at 4.7 million tons. Gujarat Ambuja Cements, the largest exporter, exported 1.7 million tons of cement in the year 2003-2004 and hopes to export 2 million tons in the year 2004-2005. The export price FOB of $46 per ton for October 2004 translates to over rupees 100 per bag and is further expected to rise up to $50. Domestic realization works out to be rupees 90 per bag net of taxes and transport expenses. The export price of clinker also moved up to $32 per ton. Given the volumes of 2003-2004 and the above recent prices, one can arrive at the approximate value of export of this industry, which is $320 million a year. The location of the cement manufacturer is a key source of competitive advantage. Cement companies with coast-based facilities can take advantage of fluctuating international prices. West Coast-based manufacturers include Grasim Industries, Saurashtra Cement and Sanghi Industries. The main destinations for cement exports are the Middle East and the Gulf countries. For instance, Sanghi exports about 80,000 tons of cement and 2 lakh tons of clinker a month to Dubai, Qatar and Saudi Arabia. The key variables affecting exports in this industry are export realization, FOB, domestic realization net of tax levies and freight, international cement prices, international demand and supply, domestic demand and supply, location of plants, location of customers, logistics capacity of individual firms and the general infrastructure of the exporting nation. Next is summary. In global markets, one of the key challenges organizations face is building global brands. Building brand image is important as wages rise with economic development. Competing on cost alone may not be sustainable for them. While brands may not necessarily translate into premium prices, they help companies gain higher market share in a crowded marketplace as they convey an assurance of quality and reliability. The brand strength depends on the perception of customers and plays a very important role in the success or failure of the company's global marketing strategy. Satisfied and loyal customers indicate positive perceptions of brand. In time when competition is getting powerful, it is imperative for the firm to seriously evaluate factors that are not only important in creating strong brand equity but also assist them in achieving customer satisfaction and loyalty. Branding is a major issue in product strategy as the company or organization is launching a new product in new market or a product which is successful in their own region or headquartered country. Branding is expensive and time consuming and can make or break a product. The most valuable brands have a brand equity that is considered an important company asset. The best brand name suggests something about the product's benefits, suggest product qualities, are easy to pronounce, recognize and remember, are distinctive and do not carry negative meanings or connotations in other countries or languages. The development of global marketing has been brought about by a number of variables, both exogenous and endogenous. The evolution of global marketing has been in a series of 4 stages from exporting to truly global operations. These stages have been termed domestic in focus to ethnocentric, polycentric and geocentric. When planning to do global marketing, a number of environmental factors have to be considered, but generally one is looking for unifying or differentiating influences which will dictate a standard or adapted planning approach. Finally, a number of concepts and techniques including the international product life cycle can give insight and a guide to global planning.